Oh, yeah, I can't use that. Let's see. Oh, I guess I'll pull it up over here. I'm going to go ahead and hit record so I don't forget that. There. Oh, man, yeah. You got to be... Were you on the panel with one of the contestants from RuPaul this year at Dragon Con?
Yeah, it was. There was like a podcasting while LGBTQIA plus or some.
I did drag.
Dax was there,
and I found Dax, and I was like, oh my god, I love Dax. I want to meet Dax, and I was so busy, I didn't get to meet Dax at all. I was so mad that she did the entrance and everything, just blew the doors open, and you were telling me about it.
Well, because Dax ran really late for that panel because, if you haven't kind of been there, it isn't the easiest to find if you don't, like, where's the Galleria? Like, you wouldn't necessarily think, like, oh, that's in the basement, Yeah.
So I'm pulling up the monitor, the chat now.
And by the way, I'm not Joe Ard, just for the record.
Oh, yeah.
Just if anybody's watching and wondering, like, gosh, did Joe, like... What happened? Did you get a haircut? What's different?
We need to update some of our graphics so that they're easily manipulated. Because these are all done. That's an actual PNG. So I can't just go and edit your information onto it.
Oh, well.
Yeah, so you are Joe Ard.
All right, I'll be Joe Ard tonight. It's fine. I'll try to do the man justice.
Is his anniversary tomorrow?
Mine is Saturday.
And mine's Monday, so there you go.
Well, we have like 2 anniversaries. So our like dating anniversary, whatever you call it, is Saturday, and then our marriage anniversary is January 19th. And but this is important on the 4th because this is 10 years. Saturday.
Oh wow, nice.
Yeah.
I mean, you're probably way behind on me, but sure, whatever, man.
Well, it took a little while to find the right one.
Yeah, patience is everything. Mm-hmm. Now, I guess his anniversary, I thought he said it was the 3rd, but it must be today because he's out tonight, and I saw him posting things on the web about it on Facebook or whatever.
Well, happy anniversary to the Ard clan.
Let's try this too. All right, got that going. All right, I can see us. Man, that irritates me. Is it going to mess you up if you turned your camera down a little bit?
Do you need me to like tilt down?
Like your head comes up. Good.
Hopefully
good.
It doesn't fall over. Okay, we'll try that.
Ah, yes. See, for some reason, there must be a setting on OBS I'm not clicking correctly because it does a snapping.
It makes me nervous because I feel like it's going to fall over.
Fix whatever you need to fix.
Tilt it down that way. Tilt it there. Power of the green screen. Okay, how's that? That makes me a little bit
perfect. Actually, it's perfect.
Awesome.
So yeah, let me just. It shouldn't be a problem with transition. All right. Yeah, with OBS, it's like click, 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 click. I'm like, why? No, I should be able to just put it right there. I don't understand.
It was just like up arrow.
It's like, yeah, it's crazy. Looks like we were ready to get going.
Sounds good.
All right. That's recording. I just want to double check everything. That is recording, and we are live. I guess I should put in a quick Discord shout. No, actually, it does it automatically, so we're good.
Oh, does it? Nice.
Cool. Yeah, we have a bot in our Discord. Ask Joe; he'll tell you how to do it for OLR and all that. For yours,
Bobby has something set up for a VOG. Yeah.
So yeah, there's just little bots or whatever, and as soon as Twitch goes live, it follows us. And so it goes, hey, Killed the Pipe Guy, happy New Year's yourself. All right, here we go. Before we get going, can I do that? I can. Okay, there's not that many users in chat. I was going to say, if you're maybe not showing it well, but we play a game. It is, you hit the exclamation mark, S, and hit the space bar, and everything after that you type is going to be in contest I said that weird. It's a contest to see the title of the show is what you're submitting. So as we go through, you can do the show or suggest your titles, and we will put them in. And it's going to be fun stuff. So we get that put in. And Killed the Pipe Guy, this is Rob Roberts. I don't have an easy way to... I probably should just turn off the title, though, so it's not there.
Can you just draw a green box over the Joe's information so people are like...
There. I just made you naked. We'll do that.
They can see my microphone.
All right, here we go. Welcome to Pokemon GO Podcast, where we don't really catch them all, but we give it a good try. We're the number one source for news, reviews, tips, and techniques to help you catch them all. I'm the right guy of podcasting, Charles McFall, and Joe is out again. Joe is not sick tonight, or well, he is. He's sick in love. He's got his anniversary with his wife. 3 kids in 2 years. I don't know how he did it, but, that's a woman for you. No, I don't actually know how long he's been married, to be truthful. But riding shotgun, he was here a few weeks ago while I was out. Well known for Ingress and his love of Pokemon Go. And Orange Lounge Radio, it is Rob Roberts.
Hello. Thanks for having me back. I'm here to get my frequent flyer card stamped here at the Pokemon Go podcast. So I'm always flattered to be asked to fill in for one of you guys and keep the chair warm while Joe's out this week.
I love it. You're so easy to talk to. I don't remember how long. I've known you as long as I've been going to Dragon Con. So 6-7 years.
Which is about as long as I've been going to Dragon Con. So it works out, yeah.
I just assume everybody's been going way longer than I have. To Dragon Con.
If it has been, it was maybe a year. I think 2012 was because it was Bobby, the good old Bobby Blackwolf, who I work with over at the Voice Geeks Network. He had been trying to get me to go for years and years when we were on the network prior to VOG. And I was always kind of like, it's not a gaming. Why would I go? I want to go to PAX that weekend. Why would I go to Dragon Con? And then finally, when we went from the gaming network we used to be on to the Voice of Geeks network, it was like, okay, I'll go to the Geek Con to pitch this new geek network we're doing. And I fell in love with Dragon Con. It's an amazing, amazing show. And then I met fine folks like you and many other folks who have been on this show in the past and through your network.
Yeah, the second year I went, I submitted a panel, which was the Podcasting Past, Present, and Future panel. And they're like, you need to bring people. I'm like, I don't know who's going to be at Dragon Con. So I threw out names like Tom Merritt and other people. And fortunately, they put together a bunch of people. And it's like, Bobby Blackwolf. And I'm like, I don't know who that is. He's an Indian chief. I'm not sure what to do with this guy. I don't even know him. And that's how I met Bobby. And Bobby was really great. And we went from there. So yeah, that's it. So we're going to jump into, actually I got to get back into Discord. We're going to jump into our adventures of the week. And how often do you still get to play Pokemon Go, Rob?
I still play fairly regularly. I've probably backed off of Pokemon Go a little bit. It kind of depends like what's going on in the other games, because believe it or not, I'm trying to juggle all 3 Niantic games with mixed success.
Oh, you're doing the Wizarding world too, huh?
Yeah, Wizarding's kind of like lowest on the totem pole, but even they have events, right? And I want to kind of go out. I do a lot of like walking breaks at work. So like this break, I'm going to do Wizards. I'm going to walk around and do all the traces and get the dailies done. This break, I'm going to do Pokemon and catch. This break, I'm going to make sure everything's still green in Ingress, so I kind of like go back and forth between all the different games. But I would say Ingress is probably still like my primary love, just because it's the one I've been playing the longest, which if you guys don't know, I mean, I know I've been on the show before, but for those who may not know, Ingress was Niantic's like predecessor to Pokemon Go, although it is a very different game. It's a player versus player game. You're not catching Pokemon. You're kind of doing a territory battle sort of thing. But the long and short of it is that if you ever wondered, like, why is this a Pokestop or why is this a gym? It was one of two things. Either an Ingress player submitted it, which is the likely candidate, or it came from Niantic's really, really old Field Trip software, which was like their first foray into AR stuff, which was like basically a giant points of interest database. So Ingress has been having some events lately where they've been doing like double, points, or they do a lot of like limited time events. I think kind of feeling like what it's done for Pokemon Go to help that, as we have like our holiday event that just finished, right? And now we just got news, not to get too ahead of ourselves, but the Party Hat event is starting, right? So, it kind of keeps you checking into Pokemon, right? So Ingress has been trying to do similar stuff too. And of course, Wizards Unite, same thing. Wizards Unite has community days and all that stuff, because that's worked out very well for Pokemon.
Yeah, it seems like Pokemon, even though Ingress was definitely the beginning go there, it seems like things have worked out pretty well for Pokemon in general, as far as them taking the lead. other than like you said, doing the gyms and Pokestops and those kind of things. Ingress is still leading the pack on that, and it feels a little too much to me. The Pokemon Go feels a little bit too much for me. Like he's trying to be Ingress, like, oh, get out there. I don't want to get out there. I don't want to go play with weirdo people. I just want to catch some cool stuff and explore when I can explore, and it's all right. So we do this live on Twitch Thursday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern on twitch.tv/Pokemon GO Podcast. And we do have a question here. Let's see if I get this name right. You're Bad Oblivion says, what's the best place for Pikas? There isn't one, I don't think. Don't those just come out of eggs?
I don't think they nest, but you can catch them in the wild, especially during events.
Okay.
So, we just had a winter event finish, and we have a party hat event starting right now. So it would be go outside. They're everywhere. I mean, they're not actually. I wouldn't say they're not like. I still see more like zigzagoons and Bidoofs right now, but they're out there. And
Kill the Pipe Guy says grass areas. So, all right. So we talked about Ingress and how you do everything. This week, have you done or caught anything? Well, you don't even have to do it for this week. It's been a minute since you've been on. What's the coolest thing that's happened to you in the last couple of weeks in the game?
I got an EX raid pass for Christmas Day, which is such an odd. I mean, I realize the thing is on a system where it's like they do a couple weeks on Sunday, then a couple weeks Monday, Tuesday. But you would think that they would have been like, oh, December 25th is Christmas Day. Like, not that we're going to acknowledge one, holiday over another, but the reality is, most people in America, all the businesses are closed on Christmas, right? So who's going to go out and raid? And so I was thinking, all right, well, we're going to be in town. The raid is at 6:00 at night. And usually all the holiday stuff happens earlier in the day, right? So we'll go out, we'll go do the EX raid, because I didn't pay the money to get Regigigas. Am I saying that right?
Yeah, I didn't either.
I didn't pay the money to get him the first time around. Let's go get him during the EX raid. Hopefully there'll be like 7 people there on Christmas Day so we can get it. So we show up, and it happens to be in downtown Sacramento, where I live, right across the street from the Capitol is where this EX stop is.
Okay.
I've never seen so many people at an EX raid ever. It was easily 80 people that I could see. And some in cars, so there were. This is a very popular place for people to go during community day. So I'm pretty sure a lot of people did what I did. And there was a raid going on at that, particular gym. So we all did it. And I'm sure a lot of us got passes that were all there during community day. But that is the most people I've ever seen. But I just wasn't expecting that on Christmas Day. So I kind of thought that was interesting, is that for, a dead game or a plateauing game, there's still so many people that are going to come out and play on Christmas Day. So I thought that was pretty cool. And I caught it, and that made me happy. But then I got an EX pass for New Year's Day, because a friend gave me that one, because that one was local to me. I live in the suburbs of Sacramento. That one was local at one of the parks here, and I caught that one too. That would have been just yesterday. That was over 3,000 CP. That one that I caught.
Nice.
Weather boosted on top of that, so that was nice. I felt pretty good about that one, except for the fact that I think that Pokemon is relatively useless. I don't know if it's better in PvP, but I don't get a lot of.
Do you do a whole lot of PvP? Is that your game?
Kind of just the mandatory stuff is what I do. I've been trying to get a little more into the Team Rocket stuff, but I have to admit I'm not as enthused on that. I'm all about. It's funny that you talk about I don't want to walk, I don't want to move. That's what I'm all about, because I use these games as a motivator to get out and walk, make sure I'm getting my steps in, getting a decent amount of exercise every day. So I'm all about like hatching eggs, catching Pokemon as I go, spinning whatever, making a walking route that goes by as many stops are possible without being too crazy and all that.
Yeah. I there's an article coming out that mentions users at launch and how, it's a lot less people today. I'm trying to find some numbers I've got the numbers of basically at its peak use in the first month or so, how many users were online. And I'm trying to find one for, let's say, even last month, right? Or 2019 peak, or anything like that. And that's where I'm having a hard time finding it. But it's still going really strong. And I think with all the new improvements, bringing on more and more people.
Yeah, I think the game is in. They're still making these types of improvements, which is good to kind of get people to notice. Hopefully, we're going to see more tie-ins with the mainline series too, because I know we've got the and you have to forgive me, guys. I forget the name in the moment, but there's like a successor to the Pokemon Bank that's coming that I believe is supposed to work with like Pokemon Go and Sword and Shields. There's supposed to be some type of like
there is
kind of like harmony there.
Well, you can send. I think you can send everything in to Sword and Shield, but nothing comes out.
Yeah. That sounds about right.
Yeah.
That sounds right.
Yeah. I'm waiting. Honestly, I'm waiting for Pokemon Go Sleep. That's what I'm waiting for right now. That I can play while I'm sleeping.
Yes. That'd be great. But yeah, I think a lot of mobile games would kill to have the kind of business Pokemon Go is still getting. I mean, it's funny because here we are on January 2nd, the beginning of a new decade, right? And I don't know about you, but I'm seeing a lot of like best of the decade type of lists, especially in regards to gaming. And believe it or not, Pokemon Go is showing up on a lot of best of the decade stuff because of how new it was. I mean, the reality is even if I played Ingress, most people didn't. So the concept of using the real world to play a game was new for a lot of people. And the benefit of Niantic having had Ingress in their back pocket is that they already had a network fleshed out. They already had all these stops and gyms and points of interest. Yeah. Now, granted, you can make an argument it should have been a lot better for rural players, but it is what it is. They had something in place that got a lot of people moving, a lot of people talking. I still remember those early days of the game. They were doing stories on the news about how Old Town Sac was getting business again because it's usually so dead down there, but everybody was going down to the waterfront to do that. So it's just like those first few weeks and months, probably first couple months, were just unreal. There really wasn't anything like it in video games in the entire decade. So it's interesting how all those kind of like fond memories are coming up again. And will Pokemon Go ever repeat that? Probably not. But is Star Wars ever going to be as good as the first trilogy?
Nope. I'll just say it. Nope.
So it's okay.
Yeah, and we'll have an article that actually is going to touch on some of the early days of Pokemon here later.
Cool.
But for the experiences, Terry Wolf looks like he got a shiny Snorunt last Friday. This is in our Discord, and to be a part of the Discord, you go to patreon.com/Pokemon GO Podcast, and I think as low as $1 now, because we said anything at one point, but Patreon has actually raised the minimum to $1. So it's $1. I think it's per episode is the way that works out. But anyway, basically, you just jump in. You can share your experiences a week. Be a part of this awesome community. Popeye705 did 5 Reg Ice raids. I think it's Reggie C because everything's Reggie Rock and Reggie Steel. I think it's Reggie C on this one, not Reg
Ice.
Because why is it not Reg Steel? I don't know, because it's Reggie everything else. It's the Reggies, except for this one. It's like my brother Larry, Daryl, and Daryl.
I think maybe spelling it Regiiice. Regis might have been a bit much. So maybe we just have to deal.
So but he got that one on number 4. Terry. So okay, I went out hunting this last weekend for the Crystallis, the one that's a snowflake. I never got that one because I didn't either. You really had to do the snow lures to get the best chance to find it. So I did that last Sunday. My Sunday morning gig is literally touching a Pokestop, and so I could throw a lure on it, and I did. And I don't get to it because mine's actually about to come up in the Discord here in a second. I went ahead and posted it so I wouldn't forget. But I did a couple cool evolutions under the snow lure, but none of the snowflakes showed up, whatever they are. Bummer. I was. But see, I got Gastrodon evolved, apparently. And that one was under the snow one, I think. Nope, that wasn't. So I just got a random Gastrodon. I don't even know what that evolves from, to be honest with you. That thing is crazy looking snail. It's a Viking snail is what that is.
I don't know if I have that one yet.
It was probably a Sinnoh evolution from, where's the king? Shellos. It's from Shellos.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So
I have one. I do have one. It's the Shellos evolution there. Yeah.
I'll have to. So Kilted Pike guy, do exclamation point S and then space and then put that in, or I can get it for you. Vespa Queen is the other one that I got. That's from Beedrill. Combi. I'm sorry, that's from Combi. I got Vespa Queen, and then
Beedrill evolves from a different line, like Cocoon things in Gen 1.
Yeah, the Beedrill makes no sense, although he's cool. And then Frostlass is the one that came underneath the snow lure, and it was Snorunt. With a Sinnoh Stone and an Ice lure, you can evolve into Frostless. Frostless? Frostless. I don't know. So, it's funny with people trying to do the titles. I always get a kick out of that. Let's see. Terry got, I don't know if that's a shiny Panpour or it's just a Panpour. Fabian says, I finally got my Dorito Ranch. He got the shiny Snorunt as well. Fabian got a sorry, not Melton. He got a Switch. I'm assuming for Christmas, so good for him. And he's doing the Meltan boxes. Did you ever do the Meltan boxes? You have the Switch?
I did, yeah. No, yeah. Of course I have the Switch. But I played. You had to play quite a ways into Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu /Eevee.
Yeah, you do.
To that, you really do. So I did. I played enough to get that and get the box, and I ended up being the guy that kind of. Can I borrow your Switch to? Well, I mean, or can you show up and bring your Switch? And I'm not lending that thing out. But can you bring it to a raid so I can get the Meltan box? So yeah, I got the Melmetal and all that good stuff, and the shinies, because there's shinies for a quick period. So yeah, but you can. I mean, that's the thing you can still do. It's not like that went away. So if you're still, and also people have been using it as, I think that quest may be long gone, but there was some quest that was like you have to catch like 40 steel Pokemon or something like that.
Yeah,
that made it a lot easier to do if you have one of those Melmetal boxes.
And then the last one, there's a few more in there, but there's so many great experiences. You just need to join the community to see them all and share your own. But the last one here, Fabian says, thanks to a friend who kindly invited me to an EX raid after I pretty much begged for it. This is my first catch of the year, and he got his Regigigas.
Nice.
So that was really cool.
That was my first catch of the year, too, thanks to, it wasn't my first new catch. It was my first catch.
So, and in the chat room, Jacket K says, so maybe it glitched out, but I got 3 separate cryogonals, is what the snowflakes are called. Cryogonals outside of lures, so that would have been an interesting coincidence if I just lucked out. But he didn't get any during the lure in the event.
Interesting.
So, yeah.
I am hearing that even now, after the event is over, they are still spawning, especially if you are in snowy weather right now. Now, I'm in Northern California, not anywhere close to Tahoe, so we don't get snow. Snow is unheard of here, so I will never see that until they do another event, or if I travel or something. But if you live in a snowy area, you may actually still be seeing those spawns, including Cryogonal.
Yeah, that's the same here. We were wearing shorts on Christmas Day here. It got cold, then it got hot. Well, I wouldn't say hot, but it got out of habit. I closed my phone, and everybody's seeing a black screen on the stream. I apologize for that. Professional that I am.
We need climate change them on to get the weathers that we need in our areas. I think that's what the lures are really meant to do, though, if you think about it, because the snowy lure, especially if you're playing, I joke about California, but especially if you're in like a tropical region, imagine that, like they really don't have a lot of snow. So those snow lures kind of help in getting those spawns there. So I think there is a reason for that as well, to have those types of lures. I think you just probably ran into some bad luck with what particularly was spawning when you were using the lures.
Yeah. So we'll see. I'm wondering if they can even narrow it down to specific events. Like I'm planning on going to Stone Mountain, either if not this weekend, very very soon. And they have the only place you can go snow sledding in Georgia, which is a fake snow mountain. They pump in all this fake snow onto it, and it's really cool. And I'm wondering if they know this is the one area there's snow, so maybe this tiny little geographical area in Georgia, I can get all the snow Pokemon. I did open a box, an adventure box this week, and got Lapras out of it. And I have a Lapras, and that's cool. But I was like, I'd like something I don't have.
Shiny.
Yeah, 100%. Exactly. Yeah, it'd be killer if it's shiny. All right, so that is the.
I was just gonna say, sorry, real quick on the weather thing.
Yeah.
I haven't really dug into the theory crafting, but my hunch is it's all zip code based. Hence why you can be on one side of the street and be in one weather, and then you cross the street and you're in another weather. My hunch is it's all zip code based. So unless that little part of the mountain is its own zip code, Charles, I don't think you're gonna get lucky there. So you might have to bring the snow lures.
Yeah, and every once in a while I'm like, are they fortune telling something? Because it's kind of overcast, but I'll put it on the game and it's pouring in the game. Like, oh crap! I wonder if they're telling me something's coming that I don't realize is coming.
I think it uses some type of open source weather forecasting site, and it's probably not quite as accurate as weather.com, but I would doubt Niantic is using the Weather Channel because they'd have to pay for that. So
that's
why they use Open Street Maps. It's open for everybody.
Well, Alphabet owns them. Doesn't Alphabet own like everything in the world? Couldn't they just give them?
Alphabet no longer owns Niantic. I think they have a Niantic.
They did. They got sold out to Seismic. Right?
Well,
Niantic bought Seismic.
No, Niantic's its own thing, and because Nintendo, they had when the Google split happened, they had a mysterious investor that poured all this money into Niantic. It was Nintendo because they were working on Pokemon Go at the time. Yeah. So
I got that because one of my other games had a side developer. Fox Next was the main developer, but Seismic was the secondary developer. And I think Niantic bought Seismic. So it's an interesting thing. That's where I got twisted. Okay. So we got our experiences there. We've got some headlines going on here. So this first one, and unfortunately I think Nicole, somebody needs to make my GSTU Media login a mod for Pokemon so I could post the links in the chat. Because I don't have mod privileges in my own chat because I don't want to take the time to log out of one account and into the other. But this will all be in the show notes, right? So if you go to Pokemon GO Podcast.com and click on this is episode number 180, and of course we'll come up with the title at the end of the show, then it'll be there so you can click on these links as well. Or go to reddit.com/r/Pokemon GO Podcast, and you can see those links now.
That's where I go to peek at what we're going to talk about.
There you go, because everything that's in these notes that I'm working off of is in the Reddit. Nice. So, all right. Rocket Leaders counter infographic, and basically it breaks it down to each one, like Arlo and all the individual counter guides here. It's a lot. There's a lot here to look at. So this is kind of thing that you'd want to download and keep on your phone when you're out and about. So you just easiest. Reference the picture, yeah. And it's made in phone format. I love this. It's literally made in phone format. So you can go, let me go to my gallery real quick. Cliff, hey, here's all the different ones. All right, this is what I'm going to do. And this is why I don't have time for this game. I don't have time to spend 60 minutes going, this is Cliff. Okay, who's he got to fight me? All right, let me find my picture. Let me go through and build my team. But it's fun. I mean, it's fun because I can imagine if I did have the time and this wasn't available, I'd be like, this is a crappy game. I just get kicked in the face all the time.
For what it's worth, I don't know if it helps, but one thing I do when I'm on my phone and out and about, and like, let's say I need to know, like, what are the counters for Regis or whatever. Hint, just bring an entire party of Machamps. But if you don't know what the right counters are, I always go to Google, but I image search. So that way I get those types of images that are made, for easy reading. And I'm not like sitting there scrolling through a page filled with ads and all this other stuff, like, what do I need to do? I usually will image search, and it helps me a lot on the go with what I need.
So I didn't think about that. So that does actually help a lot there. So those graphics, I'm going to leave them there. That's basically, but that's the graphics that Joe found for us. It's from the Sylph Road, and this is a graphical game. Everything is in pictures, so it's really nice to be able to go, okay, these are the ones that this particular Arlo is throwing at me. Let me go see what I have with the powers or with the attacks that are listed and put together my team. And it's really cool. Now, I'll read the team suggestions for each. So in Arlo, team suggestion is Dragon Breath and Dragon Claw on, of course you're not going to put the names on these guys. Oh, you're killing me. Never mind. I'm not going to read these because I'd have to remember every single.
It's also tough because you don't know what they're going to bring.
Yeah.
Necessarily, you don't know exactly what Pokemon the team, because it's going to be random, right? So you kind of have to be ready for anything.
Yeah, and I'm basically ready for nothing. That is my motto in this game. So,
yeah, oh yeah, there's so many. Yeah, and that's a Dragonite you were looking at, by the way. But yeah, there's so many different like configurations. So I think that's why, yeah, the one that's formatted for the phone, that's great. But you might have to fight the guy once, just to see what it is they're going to use on you, and then you can kind of craft the right party from there.
Yeah, and these graphics are great that way. And I am going to download them to my phone so that when I do, eventually I will. I'm still working on the 6-piece, man, and I've been on for 2 weeks, right? Well, not full 2 weeks, but I wrapped up my work the weekend going into Christmas, and then I'll be off until the 6th of January. I'll go back to work. So as I'm out and about, I'm like, I've got nothing to do but time, and I scan the whole area. You'll spin the map. No Team Rocket, anything going on. I still need that 6th freaking piece to build the boss finder to then be able to take on the boss fights. Have you fought the Team Rocket bosses?
I have fought one of the bosses. I've not done Giovanni or the
he's the big boss now or whatever.
Yeah, just because I have to be honest, I'm not that excited about the Shadow Legendaries because usually their IVs are not great. I mean, it's a nice like prestige thing to have, you know, and I'm not one to, you know, if that's what you want to collect, go collect it. But I'm not as big on those. I feel like the effort isn't quite worth the reward. If that makes sense for me.
Yeah.
But you know, the beautiful thing about the game is there's many different ways to play it. Like any good MMO ought to be, right?
Yeah.
In World of Warcraft, you can raid, you can do mythic dungeons, you can do PvP. Well, in Pokemon Go, you can collect them all. You can focus on shinies. You can PvP. You can do Team Rocket. So, you know, and that's, I think, where the nice thing about Pokemon Go and how the game has continued to grow and avoid dropping off completely is that it is adding more things to do, like any good MMO ought to do with their end game.
Yeah, I just don't know how to join Team Rocket. That's all I'm looking for.
Well, there's outfits in the store because I have a Rainbow R for Rob. Yeah. Because my trainer is actually OMG. It's Rob. So it's appropriate.
It works. Jacket K says the IVs, you're talking about the Shadow Legendaries. The IVs at least can be fixed with a lucky trade. The lack of legacy move really keeps some of them like Zapdos from being viable for me.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. If you have a lot of lucky friends, that's a great way to do it. Of course, if you have friends like Charles who never open their gifts, then you might not be able to do it.
I got you today. I got you like 2 hours ago. Oh, yeah, well, I was getting my hair cut.
We're like 2 days away from being 4-star friends after all this time.
And we've sat on that for a year, I think.
I know.
I'm bad
we
about
see each other once a year, maybe twice. So
look. Watch the stream for a second. It's still there.
You're gonna show me that Pachirisu.
I am.
Saving for me, huh?
I still have it. Right there. Look at that. Right there. I saved it for you.
It's gonna make me cry. All right, I'm gonna say, and look at my storage. I have 1 space in storage for that.
So yeah, I got home from Dragon Con last year and was decompressing and opened up the game. Went, oh crap! I didn't give Rob his squirrel. I
wasn't even thinking about it, to be honest.
Yeah, we were both so very busy last year on that. Yeah, Kilted Pipe Guy. I'll find out from Rob how he wants to maybe share his friend. Because I don't know if you want to put it out on the air, but I'll actually bring up my friend code now on the Twitch.
I'll put it in chat for those that are.
Okay, he said he's going to share his in chat. Well, they can hear you. Why am I repeating that? They can hear you say that.
You have to translate, I guess. You have to translate from California to,
I don't know.
Whatever.
I'm just a moron sometimes. But yeah, I did actually go through and open a lot of gifts and send gifts. So I think I got you today.
Nice.
Right,
Now, I don't want to be that guy, but I have to be a little bit that guy. And it's because I know a lot of people that play because of Ingress and other stuff. I have 191 people on my friends list. So, and I'm getting real close to the cap. So if I'm really bad about sending gifts, I can't always spin 191 stops in a day.
Yeah.
So I will do my best, I promise. And I do notice the people that are frequent about it. But if I'm a little crappy on the gift giving, I apologize.
And honestly, what I do is I go, and this is just inside Filthy Casual Baseball here, is I literally always leave mine sorted alphabetically by who sent a gift. So, and there's people I recognize from, they come out to the chat and the show and whatever, that we're ultimate friends. I just accept their gifts, but then I'll send, whatever gifts I have to the people that I still haven't become ultimate friends with. Some days I'll actually flip it to the brand new people who have hooked up with me. And some days I'll actually go to the friends level, right? Because there's people like Will, Squid is a Beast, who listens to the show and has supported us from day one. And he'll remind me, he's like, hey, man, he'll hit me on Twitter. He's like, hey, can you, let's exchange some gifts. I'm like, absolutely. I can do that. So I try even randomly to do that with him.
I was gonna say the trick I use is that if I know this person is like local, somebody I'm probably going to be raiding with, or would actually be trading with on a regular, like could trade on a regular basis, like not the Charles situation where we see each other once a year at one convention, but something where like I know this guy's in the neighborhood. I'll give them a nickname, and then I'll sort by nickname first. I'll make sure all those people are taken care of, that my friendship levels are at least 3 hearts. Because the discount gets really good at 3 hearts. 4 hearts, it's a nice to have, but it's not a need to have. So I just make sure my locals are at least at 3, and then I'll try to distribute. I'll go through my friends list, and some days I'll go most to least, and some days I'll go least to most. So all those people in the middle get screwed. Sorry, but that's it would be nice, and I'm sure everybody's complaining about this. Just throw me onto the chorus. It would really be nice if we had a sort that showed who's opened the darn gift and who hasn't.
Yeah.
So you can. By the way, I'll have you know, Niantic knows that technology, or at least Warner Brothers does, because Wizards Unite just put in the gifting not that long ago, about a month ago. They will show you who's still waiting, or who's like right on the screen. The send gift will be grayed out if they can't get a new gift because they've already gotten one.
Now on
so
here they added.
Easier.
They did add that here. You just can't sort it by that. Let's see if I can.
Well, yeah,
find
you can go in and look there, but if there's a quicker way to do it, I'd love to know.
No, no, you're right. There's no real way.
On Harry Potter, it's right there on the main screen. You can actually see your friends. Yeah, it's not going to be the best in the world, but for those watching on Twitch, I'll bring up my Harry Potter Woo account. I call it Woo because Wizards Unite. Woo. And you can actually see there. So, but the crappy thing in Harry Potter is that you can only open 10 a day. But it's interesting because Harry Potter has these different types of gifts. I don't want to make this a Harry Potter podcast, but you got different types. But anyway, I'm going to show on my there. Hopefully it comes through. You'll notice a lot of them say sent, but then that one, my buddy, it says send gift. So you can actually just see right there, he's one I need to send to.
Yeah.
He's really good about sending me stuff too. So I have the receipts. Niantic can do this, everybody. It's right here.
The receipts.
Although to be fair, I think Woo is actually developed by a Warner Brothers subsidiary. I think they just borrow the stops and stuff from Niantic. I don't think Niantic's actually developed.
You think Niantic kind of ghost writ? Get the ghost author out. It's like, we'll put our name on it, but you guys really do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Possibly. Yeah. Sure. But it is possible, and who knows the structure. I know at some point this is going to have to go to Pokemon 2.0, Pokemon Go 2.0. Just technology outpaces and new techniques and coding and it just gets bloated. And I'm wondering what will happen when that day comes.
Well, you can see that Niantic really has that desire to go AR gaming even bigger, right? There's a lot of that. Like I think potentially, like from a game perspective only, one of the most useless features that they must have spent a ton of time on just got added to the game: taking pictures with your buddies, right? From a gameplay perspective, that is absolutely useless. But from a wow, that's cool perspective, wow, that's cool, right?
Yes.
And that's something Minecraft. Now I'm going to throw non-Niantic games into the mix. That's something that's something Minecraft Earth is trying to get big on, is the AR shared space stuff, which is But my point is, you're right, is that Niantic's going to want to continue to push that AR thing. We all teased this game because in the beginning, especially, it wasn't what we saw in the original trailer. But golly, we get closer and closer to it every patch.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. And now that they just launched, you can see everybody else's buddies. If we're close to each other, we can pull that up, and I can see your buddy, you can see mine, and then it becomes even closer to that first trailer of how. Now you think about. Let's go back to not that Google does the glass anymore, but we do Google goggles, or some kind of other AR lens on my face. That now when I'm at the EX raid, right? And I look up and I can see it sitting there because it's connected to my phone, and I can throw the ball and I can see the ball go out. That's the trailer. That's the trailer, and we're not a year away from that, maybe 2 years.
But we might be sitting here the next decade thinking, remember back in the olden days and everybody laughed off Google Glass and that type of stuff.
Yeah.
And now, but I mean, we joke, but look, hey, if we want to do like a decade in the review type of thing, in 2010, our phones were not powerful enough to do this.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah. All
right, we got a few more headlines. We'll talk all night. Let's see. Party with Wurmple during the Adventure Sync Hatch-a-thon. And I did see somebody on Twitter confirm that the shiny Wurmple is live and out there. So today, from 1 p.m. to Thursday, January 16th at 1 p.m., that's Pacific time, you might be able to hatch a Pichu or Wurmple wearing a party hat. You'll have a chance to hatch Pichu wearing hats from 7K eggs. So the Pichu or Wurmple is in 2K possibly, but Pichu is definitely in the 7K. 2-star raids, you'll have a chance to challenge Raticate or Rebuffet wearing party hats. God, what's with the hats, man? What's with the party hats? It kill me.
I love the Wurmple. Okay, actually, Charles, I really think it's them bringing life to this meme because you remember the old loading screen. I want to say it was like the it could have been 2017 because Wurmple. So it must have been the 2018 New Year's screen. Maybe it was even 2019, but there was I think it was 18. There's a New Year's loading screen, and in the background, Wurmple was wearing a party hat, and there was this whole Reddit thing about where's that costume?
Yeah.
Because remember, all we ever would see is Pikachu. It was
right.
always Pikachu this, Pikachu that. Because I think Pikachu in the party hat, and that's what I'm looking at my phone. Yeah, Pikachu in the party hat. We done that. We've been there, done that. Look at that. That's that yellow badge from last year.
Over and over. Yeah.
We've been there, done that. But Wurmple in a party hat, that's new and novel.
Well, speaking of new loading screens, well, you're talking about old ones, but there's Pokeminers, as they're called, have found a new loading screen, and
I don't know about you, Charles, but it is good. The loading screen now for me.
And they
got mine. So
I don't know.
Let me see if the game will come up real fast here. I'm starting back from the beginning. And come on.
And you've got
and I've got the new one.
You've got the new one. All right.
So yeah.
So you got I'm looking at the screen right now. You've got the God of War painted Pikachu, which I'm down with. That's what it looks like. You got the red tattoos going on him or something. Yeah, but they're all looking off into the distance as if something's coming in 2020. What is this? Do you know any of the history? What does this maybe indicate for you seeing this?
Well, we still have a lot of Gen 5 to uncover, so I think that's definitely the obvious. Is that
they threw some Gen 5s in here.
We got to finish that off for sure. Could we be looking at Gen 6 in the fall? Probably. I mean, I think if they kind of stick to their one generation a year, but we're gonna be caught up before too long. I mean, we're on 8th generation in the mainline games, so we don't have too much further to go, I suppose. But I don't see Pokemon Go releasing any faster than that one generation a year, as much as everybody would love to see them unload some of the cool Gen 8 Pokemon. We still, actually, speaking of Gen 8, though, we still have not seen Galarian Pokemon besides the one we got in the raids.
Yeah.
Coughing, wheezing.
Yeah.
Wheezing.
Called steampunk wheezing.
Yeah, or it's, well, if you live in a green state, it's not. It's definitely looks like something else.
Smokestack wheezing.
Yeah, it smokes something, that's for sure. But this is a family show. That's all I'm going to say. But anyway, there's lots of the Galarian Pokemon like Ponyta. We still don't have. There's still other Zigzagoon actually looks pretty cool, especially the shiny. We don't have that, so we're still kind of waiting on those too. My thought is that might all be unleashed with the Pokemon Bank connection thing. Even though you can only transfer one way, perhaps by doing it will unlock some sort of egg or box, kind of like the Meltan thing. That's my little, I'll put on my own little party hat, fortune teller hat, and that's my prediction, is that the Galarian Pokemon are going to be part of that new exchange system.
It could be. Little Kilted Pipe Guy says no chance of seeing Galar in 2020.
Really?
So,
Give me the why with that.
Yeah.
I'm curious why you think that's the case.
And while we wait on that, we're going to take a quick break to feed the sponsors. So stick around. All right. Okay.
Now,
Go ahead. No, I was just making a marker and giving enough time so I can see it. Go ahead.
Oh, okay, because I thought your subscribers didn't get the 30-second break, so we still had to be entertaining.
I know they don't. I just make a marker. I'll cut it in later and spread it out.
Oh, okay, good.
Okay. Kelton says it's too new. That's why he's thinking.
Here's the thing, though. It might be too new, but they are still trying to sell Pokemon Sword and Shield and the Nintendo Switch as a result. And you have this whole user base out there there's probably more people with Pokemon Go at least installed on their phones than actually own a copy of Sword and Shield at this point. So I think it does, respectfully to your perspective, I think it does behoove Nintendo and Niantic and everybody involved with the Pokemon Company to let these Galarian Pokemon come into Pokemon Go as kind of an ad for Sword and Shield, especially if, as I predicted, the bank thing allows you to kind of move Pokemon between, even if it's a one-way street. Yeah. Or maybe later in the year, maybe possibly a Sword 2, Shield 2, because that's what they did with X and Y. I'm sorry. Ultra Moon and Ultra Sun. They did not do it with X and Y. It was Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, and they did it with Black 2 and White 2 on the Game Boy Advance. So sometimes we get sequels. And with a lot of people kind of clamoring that we didn't get enough of the old Pokemon in the new game, there's really a space for a Sword 2 and Shield 2.
That's a lot of Pokemon. that's just a lot of Pokemon. But even though we don't have Galar, right? And it sounds too close to Gallifrey. I keep thinking of Doctor Who, and everybody keeps saying that. But we do have some big events going on. They've been pounding the events the whole holiday season, right? And December has wrapped up. We've got January. We got some Team Go Rocket special research coming out. We got the January research breakthrough encounters, Lapras that know Ice Shard and Ice Beam from Wednesday the 1st. Oh, you know what? Let me see what my Lapras that I hatched. Maybe I have the new moves on them. You never know. Let's see.
You hatched it? I don't.
Oh, there it is. Ice Shard and Ice Beam. Not hatched. I'm sorry. I got him out of the research box. So look at that. I don't remember when I got my box because I claimed it somewhere over the holiday break and didn't have time to catch whatever's going to come out of it.
Yes, it was yesterday after 1:00.
Well, I opened it today. So they did say, now we did read last week that they said if you'd already, before you opened it, if you'd already claimed it, if you just close the game and refresh it after the day, then the possibility of the new stuff will be there. I wasn't thinking about that. I just went, oh, yeah, I still have a Pokemon box I haven't opened yet. And I opened it, and sure enough, I've got Lapras with Ice Shard and Ice Beam. So quite possibly before Joe Ard, because, we don't know because he won't be on the show.
Well, before me, that's for sure. I've been very slow at finishing those quests. Because for the longest time, what killed those quests for me was when the research reward for like 2 months was Eevee with the
hippie Eevee,
flowers.
Freaking hippie Eevee.
That was a choice. So I'm glad they moved past that choice.
Yeah, that was a choice, and we've moved on. Thank you. But this will go on through Saturday, February 1st. So you have a whole month to get the research breakthrough encounter done, and then get that Lapras out of it. Exciting adventure sync. I keep hearing Toyotathon when anybody puts a thon on something. Hatchathon is back. So I've been getting some free incubators when you spend. I've been picking up the incubators. And from January 2nd, which is today, to January 16th, time to get a leg up on that New Year's resolution. And basically, the Hatchathon, you can be rewarded with extra Stardust, rare candies, and a Unova Stone. If you walk a certain distance, you'll be able to find Pokemon wearing party hats. Moving on.
You can meet that resolution by playing Dance Dance Revolution.
If you do it on the Adventure Sync, so you actually get the movement counted instead of having the game open. There you go.
Work.
And then Heatran is coming back to Rage from January 7th to February 4th.
Can I quickly? I'm sorry. Can I quickly
absolutely
say the walking thing though? Like now you tell us to walk, after you've turned off the one free incubator a day. Now you want us to walk. Don't think I don't know what you're doing with that, buy them cheap in the shop right here with your 50 coins from the gym game a day.
Yeah.
Man, I really wish there was just a way to, but I understand that's how they make money, right? Like Niantic has to make money if we want to keep getting these features.
This is true.
I should be sitting here complaining about, I wish we could just have 9 infinite incubators to hatch all the things, because then Niantic doesn't make money. But I just wish, those little single-use incubators we saw a couple times a year, be nice.
Yeah. And because I don't care enough to buy them. I use the one that's built in for everything and just slowly hatch eggs. So yeah, I mean, it's whenever the events can run like this, I'm like, oh, I got extra incubators. Look at that. But I'm with you. I'm not complaining about it. I mean, I would love it to be a little bit more, do a few more events. You remember in the first year, they would do a grass type event, and that whole week, you just get all grass types all the time, And now if they did that, it'd be crazy cool the different things you can get. Maybe you could even get, I don't at me if this is the wrong type, but maybe you can get a Tropius, even though he's a regional for Africa, I think it is. But if they did a grass type event, hey, you might get Tropius this week. If he's not a grass type, that's dumb because he's got leaves all over him.
All right, let's pull up the tangent train to the station because I got a crazy idea. You ready?
I'm ready.
So, and I'm gonna bring a little bit of Ingress into this, okay? So Ingress, the max level is 16, right?
Sure.
So what can you do when you get to max level? You can hit this little button called Recurse and do it all over again. But you get a little prestige badge, you get a little marker next to your name, and supposedly at some point you're supposed to get a hidden reward that Niantic still has not unveiled, even though the Ingress players all recursed a year ago. My point is, a lot of you guys out there have already hit level 40, right, Charles? You've hit level 40?
I'm 39 and a quarter.
Okay, you know what I'm saying? So many people out there have already hit level 40 and like me are kind of at the point where it's like, okay, I'm level 40. Now what? Like I can still collect, but I'm just getting all this XP for what? Do we get new levels or what? Well, what if, like Ingress, they bring in that button that says Recurse, or they give it some cute Pokemon name, Repika or something, right?
Yeah.
And you hit the button and you go all the way back to level 1. And why would you do it? You get one permanent
extra
incubator. One new permanent incubator that's permanent. Would you press the button?
I think a ton of people would, absolutely.
I think a ton of people would press the button.
Just have that second permanent. Yeah.
Niantic, my consulting fees are very reasonable. Contact us on Twitter at Pokemon GO Pod.
There you go.
To me.
I will, absolutely. I'll forward it on to him. My 10% cut.
I'll get you one free incubator.
You know what? I'll take that. That's way better than 10%. And Jacket K says, to be honest, I'd be more for a system that gives rewards like Stardust for extra XP instead of resetting levels.
Like crafting almost.
So, I mean, there's so many different ways you could tweak this. It's a good game. We say, man, they need to make it better. They did make it better. So we need to tweak now.
Charles.
Rob.
Charles, back to the story we were talking about that got us on all this, that loading screen.
Yes.
Looking forward to the future.
Yes.
Maybe.
It's going back.
What do you do after level 40? Or at least the answer to that question might be coming this year. What do you do after level 40?
Because people have been talking about, well, maybe there's a level 50, but the exponential jump from 40 to 50.
Some of you crazies have already hit level 50.
Oh yeah, Terry
no
Wolf
matter
has,
no matter where they draw the line, they'll turn it on and bam, you're all going to be 50.
Yeah, then you still have nothing.
That was that you still have nothing.
Exactly.
So I really think this is where the prestiging, if you're Call of Duty, recursing, if you're Ingress, what do they call it in Diablo, the Valor levels or something like that. I think that's where these levels are I think you might see this in Pokemon. I think that system makes more sense to reset and do it again.
And that's how it works for me. Every time I get right to that, hey, I've made it. Oh, man, everything's changed now. That's how that works in all my games. Literally, in all my games that are like this, by the time I reach what everybody's aiming for, I get there, and then they change it. But this would be a good change. I'd hit the button. I'd hit the button and go right back to one.
Kilted Pipe Guy says 2 times EP if you hit the button. Or maybe, I think maybe that's X or XP.
Yeah.
how many eggs are you seeing? When you hit level 40, the game gives you eggs. Why?
Right.
But this would answer why.
Yeah, so, and it's been doing that for a while. All right, we got 2 more headlines right here. Pokemon Go research task for January. Okay, here, I'm just going to glance over this real quick. It's a chance of shiny encounter, evolve and power up is, oh no, the stars means there's a chance. So one of the adventures for January is going to be evolve and power up, evolve a Pokemon. Cubchoo is unconfirmed, or Eevee is confirmed with a chance of shiny encounters there, are the possible rewards. Power up Pokemon 5 times. You could possibly get shiny of Bulbasaur, Charmander, or Squirtle. I'm not going to read all of these, but the ones that jump out to me, like this one. Under throw, make 3 great throws. You can get a Ghastly shiny, Laleep, or Anorith, but Anorith has not been confirmed yet for that. Spinda, we're still on the Spinda train. Are you still on the Spinda train? Do you care about the Spindas?
I fell off that bandwagon the first time I missed a month.
I just want my Spinda. The little Spinda with the goatee. That's the Spinda I want, and then I'm done. I don't have that one.
That's perfect.
Somebody needs to have that and trade me.
If I have it, I will trade it to you for that Pachirisu.
Yes, really just name that.
Right, no, the first time I missed a month, I was like, I don't need it anyway. It's just dumb. I don't need it anyway. I was over it at that point.
That's how I feel about
wait.
Do you have one?
August is. I think the one that was August last year. I think that
might
be.
That's him.
Is that it? Okay, I've got
yes.
one. I got one, Charles. It's got your name on it.
Thank you. Because I need that. That's the only one I do have 1 or 2 Spindas, but that's the only one I want. So I finally made it into a video game. I need my character. So, but let's see if there's anything else that jumps out. I mean, there's lots of stuff here. Catch 3 different species type. Catch 3 different species of ice type Pokemon. Get 3 rare candies. That's a good one there.
Not if you don't live in a snowy area, but I guess you can always use the lures.
Yeah, I mean it's a good reward. It's a harder. Yeah, it's gonna be a harder one.
I think the other consideration is that I think a lot of that same stuff spawns in fog for us. So
I think you're correct.
It's always foggy. Yeah.
So lots of cool stuff. That link is definitely going to be on PokemonGoPodcast.com. And this is an article I've been alluding to all night. I went and found this myself, and I was like, okay, it's a light article. It's not going to tell anybody anything new, but I thought it was fun to kind of reminisce over this. This is a new article that just came out today off the BBC, and it's Pokemon Go. Documents show Canadian military struggle with the game. And I thought there's so many great quotes. Yeah, there's so many great quotes. I'm basically just going to read it here because it's just a fun read. Let's see. The arrival of Pokemon left a baffled Canadian military struggling to understand a surge in trespassing. The documents that the BBC and the CBC have gotten. Over 500 pages of documents they got from the Canadian military.
What is this game all about, eh? I apologize to all my Canadian friends. Sorry.
So here's some. Here, I'm just reading the quotes. These are literal quotes from the documents that have been turned over to the CBC. Please advise the commissionaires that apparently Fort Frontenac is both a Pokegym and a Pokestop. One email from a major read. I will be completely honest in that I have no idea what that is. That's the quote there. This is when it launched at 2016, right? Yeah. The world was taken by surprise.
Yeah. So many people had no idea what was coming.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because, again, not to be that guy, but I'm going to be a little bit that guy because I think that's what you brought me here to do. Is that, coming from the Ingress perspective, I'll tell you why those are Pokestops and Pokegyms, because some crazy at Ingress submitted it that probably worked at that base and wanted something that was really hard to get to. But I'm also sitting from that perspective of like, haha, the Pokemon Go players just got caught. Yeah. Back in my day, we snuck on the military bases to enlighten them portals.
We snuck in and out of places.
Got to learn how to be more stealth.
I in the early days of playing, I'm like, hey, there's a stop, and I wheel in and get immediately stopped at a guard gate. It's a school. It ended up being a university of some kind in Atlanta, one of the smaller ones. But there's a guard who's like, no, man, unless you got a parking pass, the campus is closed. I'm like, well, can't I just go up and turn around? It's like, nope, back it on up. I was like, but how do I explain what a Pokestop is? Okay, never mind.
They know now. Everybody
knows
now.
No, everybody knows now. But then it's like, yeah. So, similarly, a corporal confronted the occupants of an unmarked van on an airbase near Toronto, and they were playing on their smartphones. It's just July 10th, 3 days after the release. Just before midnight, by the way. So that's the other key to this. It's not like, hey, it's the middle of the day, I'm going on the base just because. It's almost midnight when they're doing this.
How the bleep did Karen's minivan full of her kids get in here to this secure checkpoint?
Yeah.
Like, it's just funny watching that from their perspective.
It is. This is such a fun read. Everybody should go read the whole thing. It's such a and it doesn't tell you anything new. It's just a fun insight into what was going on in the minds of people who did not know anything about the game and had to deal with these things. Let's see. It says there's a game out there taking off like gangbusters, and it requires people to move to digitally cached locations to get points, a Colonel wrote. The game's premise seems to be going to the Pokestop gyms to collect Pokemons. In parentheses, we should almost hire a 12-year-old to help us out with this. And in the quote, I was like, it just tickled me. I loved it. There's some quotes by parents who were there playing with it. One woman, now this is a bad parent, okay? She took her kids. She's playing the game on this base, and her kids are climbing over tanks. Like climbing up and down. It's like, no, we have a
Barbara,
depot.
get out of the base. Get out of the base,
Yeah.
Barbara, and take your dang kids with you.
Take your little rugrats with you, Sharon. But we have an armory in Covington that has, they show off some of the old cannons and stuff. And one day I had my little ones with me and happened to be doing a raid, one of the few that I've done with people. And, I'll let them, we have a little burner phone and let them play on it too, and this and that and the other. But they wanted, like, can we climb on? No, you cannot climb on that. You'll fall. You'll get hurt. No, we'll get shot. No, you're climbing on. So yeah, you got to control your kids. But the best quote is, where is it? Okay, so at Halifax, Nova Scotia, somebody recommended that an additional Pokestop be added near the museum, and that the museum itself be upgraded to a Pokemon gym to increase foot traffic. Like, now that's how you embrace it.
That's smart.
Yes,
exactly. And that's the smart parks were the ones that were like, oh my gosh, people are coming to parks again. This is great. Let's capitalize on this. And that's, the smart military that's like, hey, let's educate the children while they're here, a little bit about history. Let's make the best of it. I think that's a fantastic idea. It's a bummer it wasn't that easy for them, in the beginning.
Yeah.
of Pokemon Go, you couldn't really just submit a stop or submit a gym. You had to have a friend that played Ingress to do it. And even now it's this whole intricate system of, well, you have to be at level 17. We'll let you add a stop, but you can only get a gym within a level 14 or whatever it is. Sorry, I don't know all the exact all these different, map zone areas. So,
God, that stupid alarm gets me old every time. I don't think anybody else can hear it but me, but all of a sudden in my ears is like, blam, and
oh, that's funny. Kilted Pipe Guy says, when Pogo went live, I had to explain to my boss what a Pokestop was and how it worked. They were worried about people invading our site. I'm security for my offices. So let me guess, do you have some type of fountain or painting that's in the office that people are trying to get to? Because one of your workers played Ingress and submitted it.
I think he's at his desk and charged the portal.
You need to get an Ingress account, because in Ingress, it'll show you who did it.
And you don't write them out, Rob. Don't be getting somebody fired.
Well, their name might be, Sephiroth 20 XYXY. I'm trying to think of something family appropriate. I was going to say something inappropriate. Stitches get stitches.
Thank you, hibernating sheep.
Rude.
All right, we are running.
Stitches get Squirtles. I need more shiny Squirtles.
All right, that's going to be it for today. I want to thank all the patrons who go over to patreon.com/Pokemon GO Podcast and support the show. You can get the ad-free version on Patreon. You can get into the Discord. There's all kind of other cool things. And Joe and I will be revamping the reward tiers here in the next month or so. Let me double check, but I believe on tiny.cc /capital GSCU, and you'd have to capitalize those 4 letters because it's a tiny.cc link. That the version, nope, it is not. I thought I got up the I'm gonna. Oh, you know what? So we're having issues with the Pokemon anything on our store, right? So we had our original shirt, and it was up forever. And we're like, okay, we're gonna take it down because that's what you do with merchandise, right? You take it down, make it limited. put it back up for the holidays. I forgot to put it back up for the holidays, but I did talk to Tony a week ago. He put it up while I talked to him, and it said, above all the others, it said, oh, we're going to have to review this one. And apparently they didn't approve it. Even though it was on the store for a good 8 months, they didn't approve it because it's not here. So we don't have any Pokemon merchandise right now. And the two that Joe has put up since then did well, but they were highly identifiable as Pokemon. So I'm thinking Nintendo probably hit a bunch of people with the cease and desist across the board. And so if it's even close, it gets just denied. So we're going to work on a new logo this year for the shirts and mugs. And so you can do that.
Go for the Mystic Valor Instinct type of art that's unique to Pokemon Go, because Niantic is usually a lot more lax with that stuff because people make all sorts of bootleg Ingress merchandise. Technically, there are rules, but Niantic, they realize it's just all promotion for their game. So,
yeah, it's not like we're making millions on it and taking away from them. We're just encouraging it. So we got to come up with something. Love the cup. Did not see that before. I love the cup, man.
Oh, thank you.
I have. So if you don't see that on the podcast, it was a Hello Kitty cup, and I'm looking around for my Hello Kitty vinyl that's Kissed All around here somewhere. So, but it's anyway. Thank you, everybody. Rob, where can they find you on the web?
So probably best known for a little show Sunday nights live at the Voice of Geeks Network. That's vognetwork.com, vognetwork.com, called Orange Lounge Radio. That is live 6 o'clock Pacific, 9 o'clock Eastern, again Sunday nights at Twitch TV /VOG Network. That's VOG Network. We're coming up on episode, I think 806 is this weekend.
Wow.
We're doing it a very long time. Well, this is our 18th year. So we started.
So you're up and coming, never been heard of show. I got you.
Well, half of that's right. Never been heard of. Just because we've been around a long time doesn't mean, but anyway. And also I love Twitter. So give me a follow on Twitter at Mr. Rob Roberts. That's MR, Mr. Rob Roberts.
And if you reply to him, he will reply to you. I can tell you that. I've been seeing your stuff more lately and throwing snarky comments on it.
Unless you send me a message that's like, F you, F and F, I'll probably just block you. But
I'm totally sending you that now just to see what happens.
I know where to find you every Labor Day.
That's true. Not wearing
white.
So
I'll just print that one out and be like, remember this?
You would too. All right, we're going on too long.
My next cup. Okay, sorry.
Real Dirty Jim says, great show. Long live the resistance.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Thank you, everybody, for coming out to Twitch tonight to watch the live recording. This is who's on my list. This is all I can see. So if I miss your name live, I apologize, but I'd like to give that shout out to Alfred Judocus 100-289. That really sounds like a bot, Alfie, so I don't know. GSU Media is me, Jacket K, Kilted Pipe Guy, Lady Jasmine, M. Shaw. I'm looking for M. Shyamalan, Nightmare, whatever. Nightmare 84, Never Dream 81, Rob Roberts, Rock Eddie 33, The Real Dirty Jim, as opposed to the fake one. V&K, Virgo Pros, and Windsock, I believe, are all bots there. Thank you all for coming out and being part. I know Kurt was here earlier, and I think that's everybody, though. That's all chat up. So Joe should be back next week. That is the plan. Joe will be back on next week. I will be back on. Yeah, I should be back on next week. I think about my schedule.
I will be back to hide in the basement, but you'll never know when you might see me again. Thank you, of course, for having me.
But we will absolutely have you again, Rob. I'd love having you on. You can find me, Rock God of Podcasting, all across social media. Check out gstu.net. That's on the Giant Size Team Up Network. We're on that network, and we're happy to be a part of it. And I'll tell you now that gsu.net is looking for a little bit of help in the audio editing and the art departments. So if you want to donate a little bit of your time for a little bit of future resources, or we'll figure something out, let us know. Hit us up. You can always email me, bearcrawling@gmail.com. We'll get it there. Or hit us up, show@PokemonGoPodcast.com. And would love to hear from you. And that's how you hit the show normally anyway, if you'd like to get on, show@PokemonGoPodcast.com. Or you can leave your speak pipe over at that website. Reddit's r/Pokemon Go Podcast. Facebook is Pokemon Go Podcast. Twitter's @Pokemon Go Pod. And every Thursday night, it's twitch.tv/Pokemon Go Podcast. And if you found us through twitch.tv or our YouTube channel, which still, you have to have 1,000 freaking subscribers now on YouTube to get a name. That's what that is. But so I don't have the full link there. It'll be in our show notes. But if you found us here, this is a podcast, and we have 179 other episodes that you can go back and listen to, and it's a great show for your commute. All right, we hit you on Twitter. We hit me on Twitter. That's going to be it. Come on back next week, and Joe should be here to talk about how awesome he is and how great he's found all kind of stuff. And I'll tell you that I didn't play. That'll work. Thanks, Rob, for being on again. I appreciate you, man.
Thank you so much for having me. And to my agents that are out there listening, notice how the grass, the trees are all this lovely green, just like Enlightened. Enjoy Enlightenment. All for you.
All right, there is the podcast. So let me see if I can do the command. I'm not mod. It did it. All right. So in the chat, you'll see the Showbot. It says Showbot TV/S. Click that link. That's where you can go to vote for the title of the show. I'm going to render this out, and that's the timer for voting. That's how long it takes to render, which would be 2 minutes.
I believe you have one submission, I believe.
Well, you know what? Then that'll be the winner. That's how it goes sometimes. Sometimes we get no submissions. Sometimes we get 50,000. Real Dirty Jim says the sky is always blue.
Are we still recording?
We're on Twitch. It's recording yes and no.
Okay, not at night, ho. Not at night.
I know there was a submission. I don't see the submission.
And I'm just teasing all in good fun. It's not that serious.
Let's see if I can scroll through this one. There was a submission. I saw Nightbot say it gave the submission.
I think it was something about snowflakes. No snowflakes in POGO.
No snowflakes in POGO. Well, that will be the title. Something went wrong with Showbot tonight. I'll put it in the show notes here. No snowflakes in POGO. You mentioned Diablo. I actually, for the first time ever, played it last Monday night on stream.
It's Paragon levels. The name is like now that I have this moment of clarity. Oh, it's Paragon levels. I couldn't think of it during, but yeah, no, Diablo's great. It's a great game. I'm excited for the fourth one. But I played a lot of the third one, especially in the earlier seasons. Like when they redid it with the expansion, the level 70 expansion. Its name escapes me right now. But when they redid it with that expansion, it was so much better than it was in its original state. And the end game's a lot of fun. It's a fun game. It's just kind of it's been that way for literally years and years now. So I think I'm kind of like ready for something new. But they've announced Diablo 4, so yay.
Yes, they have. Thank you, Johnny Lou, for submitting Great Throws podcast. Kilton says, I bought the Diablo for the Switch yesterday after watching you the other day. Yeah, so I was playing Borderlands 3 for a long time with Philip Keating, and we both just weren't feeling the game. It's not Borderlands 2. You know, it's not. There's something missing, and so we're like, you know what? What would we play if we weren't playing this? I literally just asked that mid-show right before we went to the break. He threw out something that's like, ooh, I can't remember. One of us mentioned Diablo 3. I was like, I don't think I've played it ever. And he said, oh, my God. So I'm like, you know what? I've got a gift card. It was on sale. So I went and bought the big pack, whatever, for under $30. And so then we fired. It loaded super fast, and we fired it right up. That hour and a half went like 10 minutes. Man, it was so much fun. So we're going to be doing that on Monday nights.
It's a great time of year to catch up on games too. Well, right now all the sales are ending. So if you didn't get on those sales, I mean, today might be like the last day for a lot of them. But it's a good time of year to kind of get your backlog cleared out. I think the PlayStation sales still going through maybe Monday. So, but even I caught up on like old stuff too. Like I finally got the Kingdom Hearts 1.5, 2.5 on PS4.
Yeah.
Which I had 1.5 on PS3, but not on 4. So I got the whole collection now on 4, which is nice. And that'll be like 200 hours worth of game to play through. So that'll be good.
Do y'all ever have people on OLR?
We do, but it's been harder since we made the move to Twitch because, you know, we all do in the same room.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if usually I do an interview or something, it's usually during our midpoint break, because what we'll do, through the magic, we'll be live, and then I'll hit the button on the stream deck to go to a video that was pre-done with like an interview or something, and then that gives us in the studio a chance for restroom, coffee, whatever we need. And then so we always know, okay, it's 7 minutes, and I have a timer up for 7 minutes, so we're all back in place by the time we come back.
Man, that's genius. That's you. Can we? Really? I gotta go do another show here in a second, but we just launched Breaking the Panel to Twitch last night. So we're gonna be recording the podcast live there as well. And what we've been doing in the past is we do up to 30 minutes in the middle of the show just for Patreon. So Patreon gets the whole uncut. So at the break that we already made a 30-second break for the insert for the ad for the podcast, we record content for Patreon. And we realized doing that live, well, I made it where you can see us, you can't hear us, and it says go to patreon.com, but we're like, man, it feels awkward knowing that people are waiting on us to come back to the second half of the show. But if we maybe start doing some videos like that, interviews and those kind of things, we can hit go. It entertains the Twitch audience. We can record our content for the show. Take
30 minutes from a previous episode or another gameplay that you did on a previous thing or whatever. Yeah. No, that would work.
All right, Skewed, you got a minute. What do you got? You got a question. What do you got? I know it's going to take a second for him to hear that. And
it's fine.
Come through.
Hope that didn't run too long. I like to talk. I don't know if
you know that. I'd love to talk. And normally it's not a problem. I'd say I have 100% DNO level 4 and 1% DNO level 24. Who must I upgrade? No, that's fine with your English, Skewed. It's fine. I think everybody would recommend upgrading the 100%er, right?
I think for the prestige reasons, I would upgrade the 100%er as well. I think that's going to be a nicer thing to have in your collection, especially once you've leveled it up. It's going to cost you more Stardust and candy. You're going to have to put more effort into it. If you want just quick and dirty, then do your 91%er. You can always do that one first and then do the other one. But I honestly just take the time and do your 100% one, because I think you'll have to invest more into it, but it'll pay off more, I think, from the prestige. Because I don't know about you, Charles, but 100% Pokemon, even though IVs ultimately, they really don't matter. Like for battling and stuff, the difference is negligible. It's really negligible, 91% versus 100%.
Yeah, it's not much different.
It's really negligible. But for like the status thing, I think 100% Pokemon are even cooler than shiny Pokemon. They're rarer.
It is a lot harder to get them. And
they're a lot harder. They're not candy on community days.
Yeah. No, you're right. And as Skewed says, because other people told me to upgrade to 91%, waiting the CD.
I see the logic behind that, because the special move with the 100%er, I didn't consider that as a denial's likely a future community day. It's not bad advice. I get the logic behind that advice. So you have a tough decision to make. There's no right or wrong answer. It's what do you want out of your collection? What's more important to you?
And you can do both.
You battle with,
Like Rob was saying, you could do the 91% now and get it powered up, and then slowly move up the 100%er behind it. Because the 100% is hard to get, but it depends on how you're doing it. So, all right, we got to get out of here. Thanks, Rob, for being on. And,
no problem. Thanks for having me, and good luck with the other show tonight.
And everybody, follow the channel. Subscribe if you will. We'd love to have those Bezo bits. But follow the channel so you can catch us next week. We'll be back at 8 o'clock.